Okay, so you want to own a Walmart. Walk in, stock the shelves, watch 255 million Americans hand you their money every single week. Simple enough. Except here's the thing that should stop you cold before you even look at a lease. You cannot buy a Walmart. Not one. Not a single location. The largest retailer on the planet, $680 billion in annual revenue, more than 5,200 stores across the United States alone, and not one of them is for sale to you. Every location is owned outright by the corporation. No franchises, no partnerships, no licensing deals for private individuals. The business that sells everything sells nothing when it comes to ownership. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it actually costs to build and run one of these stores, how Walmart makes money in ways that have nothing to do with selling you a gallon of milk, why their net profit margin is thinner than the receipt they hand you at checkout, and why the one man who understood this business better than anyone started with $25,000 and ended up building the largest private fortune in American history. Let's start with the price list. There are 3 types of Walmart locations operating in the US right now. The smallest is the neighborhood market, roughly 40,000 square feet, mostly groceries, a pharmacy, and a fuel station. Construction cost when these were being built out ran between $4.5 million and $6.5 million per location. Then there's the Supercenter, the format most people picture, between 100,000 and 200,000 square feet. Full grocery section, electronics, clothing, auto care, vision center, pharmacy. In 2025, Walmart broke ground on its first new supercenter in 4 years in Cypress, Texas. Total project cost came in at $30.2 million. And then there's the category nobody talks about, the distribution center. Walmart operates 164 of them across the US. These are not stores, they are the engine that makes every store work. Some run over 1 million square feet. They are where the real money machinery lives, and we'll come back to that. So how does someone actually get into this business? The honest answer is you don't. Not as an individual. Walmart has operated as a completely corporate-owned chain since day one. Sam Walton opened the first location on July 2, 1962 in Rogers, Arkansas. He and his wife Helen funded 95% of it themselves. Walton's philosophy from the beginning was that ownership should never leave the company. No franchising, no outside partners controlling the brand. Every store, every pricing decision, every supplier contract flows through Bentonville, Arkansas. That discipline is the reason Walmart exists at the scale it does today. It is also why you, no matter what you have in your bank account, cannot own a single location. Your only legal path into this business is to buy shares of WMT on the New York Stock Exchange, the same move a 22-year-old with a $500 brokerage account can make. Congratulations! Now let's talk about what it actually costs to run one of these stores, because this is where most people's assumptions fall apart. A typical Walmart supercenter employs between 300 and 500 people. Walmart employs approximately 2.1 million associates worldwide as of 2025. Payroll is the single largest line item in the entire business. Then comes inventory. A supercenter carries roughly 120,000 different product items at any given time. All of it needs to be purchased, shipped, stored, and replenished on a continuous cycle. Goods move through distribution centers via a system called cross-docking. A supplier's truck pulls in one side, the product transfers directly onto an outbound truck headed to stores. No warehousing, no sitting in a stockroom. Walmart never really owns the inventory in that pipeline for long, which dramatically cuts carrying costs. Procter & Gamble has an automated satellite-linked system that tells them the exact moment a product needs to leave their facility to replenish a specific Walmart shelf. That precision is not an accident. It traces back to a $24 million private satellite network Walton built in 1987, connecting every store to headquarters in real time. He was running a discount retailer out of Arkansas and building infrastructure most governments didn't have. Then there's shrinkage, retail's polite word for theft. Industry-wide, shrinkage costs US retailers roughly $100 billion a year. For a store with Walmart's volume, that number per location runs into the millions annually. Here is how the money actually works, and this is the part that surprises almost everyone. Walmart's net profit margin is 3.07%. On $680 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2025, the company earned roughly $20 billion in net income. On every dollar that walks through the door, Walmart keeps about 3 cents. A bakery keeps more margin on a croissant. The reason is grocery. More than 60% of Walmart's US revenue comes from food and consumables, the lowest margin product category in retail. You sell a 12-pack of Coca-Cola for $6.49 and keep maybe 18 cents of actual profit after everything. But here's what most people miss. Walmart is not actually a grocery store trying to make money on groceries. It's a data company that uses a grocery store as the hook to get 139 million Americans through its doors every single week. Because once you're inside, the math changes. General merchandise, clothing, electronics, home goods carries a very different margin profile than a can of soup. And then there's the business unit most consumers have never heard of, Walmart Connect, their internal advertising network. Brands pay Walmart to appear on digital screens throughout 4,700 stores. They pay for placement in Walmart's app. They pay for targeted ads served to shoppers based on purchase history. In fiscal year 2024, Walmart's global advertising business hit $3.4 billion in revenue and grew 28% year-over-year. Advertising and membership income combined accounted for over 50% of Walmart's operating income growth in a recent quarter. The grocery store is a loss leader. The data it generates, about 139 million weekly shoppers, is the actual product. Now, why do smart people still get destroyed in retail at this scale? Look at Kmart. In 2002, Kmart filed for the largest retail bankruptcy in US history at that time, $10 billion in debt. The mistake wasn't pricing, it wasn't product, it was real estate. Kmart had locked itself into long-term leases on high-cost urban locations, while Walmart was methodically clustering stores around distribution hubs in lower-cost suburban and rural markets. Walton's strategy was deliberate geographic saturation. Place a distribution center, build stores within a 200-mile radius, dominate the regional market completely, then move to the next one. Kmart was paying city rent, Walmart was paying Arkansas rent, same product, same customer, completely different cost structure. Then there's Sears, at one point the largest retailer in America, a mail-order catalog that was essentially Amazon before Amazon existed. By 2018, they were bankrupt. The mechanism was debt and a failure to read how Americans were changing the way they shop. Walmart read it. In fiscal year 2025, Walmart's global e-commerce sales crossed $100 billion for the first time. The external risk in this business is not a competitor, it is a tariff. When the Trump administration announced sweeping tariff increases on goods from China in 2025, Walmart's CEO Doug McMillon went on record stating the tariffs would force price increases on American consumers. Walmart sources a significant portion of its general merchandise from overseas manufacturers. The 25% tariff on Chinese imports either gets absorbed into Walmart's already razor-thin margins, or it gets passed to the customer. Neither is clean. The cost structure of an everyday low-price retailer is uniquely fragile to import duties because the entire value proposition is built on that price tag. The moment it rises, the proposition weakens. Two scenarios. Real numbers. Scenario 1. Everything goes right. You're Walmart corporate, operating a single supercenter at $30 million all-in construction cost. Annual gross revenue for a US supercenter runs approximately $80 to $100 million per location. After cost of goods, payroll, utilities, maintenance, and logistics, operating profit for a well-run supercenter comes in around $4 to $6 million per year. Payback on the $30 million build at $5 million a year is 6 years. Layer in advertising revenue from Walmart Connect and pharmacy margins, and the math looks better. Scenario 2. One thing goes wrong. Tariffs hit general merchandise, the high-margin side of the store. The product mix shifts heavily toward groceries. Operating profit drops from $5 million to $2 million. Your 6-year payback becomes 15, and you still have 400 employees to pay next Friday. Sam Walton opened that first store in 1962 with $25,000 and a theory that Americans in small towns deserved the same prices as Americans in cities, and that if he could build the infrastructure to deliver that, volume would take care of everything else. He was right. By the time he died in April 1992, he had built the largest retail operation on the planet. The Walton family today controls roughly 46% of Walmart's shares and holds a collective net worth north of $200 billion, making them the wealthiest family in the United States. Not a tech founder, not a hedge fund. A man who started in a discount store in Arkansas and understood one thing about retail that everyone else kept missing. You don't make money on what you sell. You make money on what it costs you to sell it. Everything else is just volume.